And I am happily married and just love to be part of kindergarten. Most of my career, I was in first grade, did 2 years here in fourth, and then I'm happy to be back down in the lower grades in kindergarten. Go, Michelle, Miss Venuta.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I have been an ESL teacher and a specialist off and on for 20 years with some time off for being a mom and going to school. My daughter just graduated high school last spring. She's off to Alabama, so I could finally move to Northern Virginia and be near my family. Very happy here, very happy at Cardinal Forest. It's a great school.
All right, my name is Mrs. Welch, and I work with Miss Khan. We've been working together for, I think this is our 3rd year. This will be my 6th year teaching kindergarten at Cardinal Forest. Before that, I did a little bit of pre-K, I did a little bit of first grade, so I kind of have that spectrum going on. And then I live in Fairfax City with my husband, and we have our 2 fur babies, Ben and Hamish. And Miss Khan, she lives in the community, so you probably see her when you go to Giant. This will be her 5th year at Cardinal Forest, and she does have 3 lovely children, one of which goes here, one just went to middle school. And yes, love working with her.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Williams. I've been here at Cardinal Forest for about 5 years. My other time teaching is in Arizona for 18 years. I really enjoy the first graders and the kindergartners. I spent a lot of time teaching those grades and a little bit of time in 3rd grade. I am happily married, 21 years, 2 children. I have a sophomore in high school and a kindergartner here in Mrs. Welch's class. I also want to give a high five to my instructional aide, Mrs. Hannum.
We have an awesome admin team. Mrs. Drake is the principal and Mr. Hirsch is the assistant principal. And our office staff is also awesome. Gio is our admin assistant. Nikisa is our attendance person. Karen Stevens is our registrar. Debbie Scaff is our office assistant. Wendy is our clinic aide. And Julie is our health nurse.
All right, and we have a plethora of really awesome specialists that work with our kids. Not all of them work with kinder. They will work with them as they get older. So for art, we've got Miss Blyweiss and we've got Mr. Clement, and Mr. Clement's actually here if he wants to say hi.
Sure. Hi, everybody. So happy to be here teaching art at Cardinal Forest. Looking forward to a wonderful year of painting and drawing here.
Thank you, Mr. Clement. Our kids also love going to music, singing. So we have Miss Lynch and Mr. Field. PE, this is where they go to get all that kindergarten energy. We've got Coach Kim and we've got Coach Rhodes. Ooh, sorry, something's showing up. Band and strings, we're not there yet, maybe later, as they get a little bit older. We do have an AART teacher. Some of the kids are actually working with her right now. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but in pre-game time, they are doing something called Tech Time. So they're having a chance to kind of explore computers with Miss Fisher. They go to Miss Ulrich to get all those lovely books that they take home. And I think I just saw her, she might have left. One person who you're going to see all of her lovely work coming up on Schoology is Miss Meshover. She's worked very hard on that. She is just a tech queen, love having her. And we also have our technology specialist, Miss Ann War. So when we have tech just going haywire, that's the person we go to find. And then we also have a fabulous reading teacher or our literacy coach, Miss Murphy, and she's actually here if she wants to say hi.
Hi, families. Welcome to Cardinal Forest. Last year is actually my first year at Cardinal Forest, and I'm thrilled to be here. I think you're going to have a fantastic experience here at Cardinal Forest, so welcome.
Thank you, Miss Murphy. And then we also have some fabulous ESOL teachers. So we have Miss Centennial, who has worked with kinders quite a bit. And so she's going to be working with our kinders this year. We also have Miss Sadowski and Miss Melissa Curry. So if your child receives ESOL services, these are the lovely ladies that are going to be working with them. And then we also have a fabulous special education group, teachers and IAs. Not all of them work with our kids, but we do have one here, Miss Trosbach, if she wants to say hi.
Hi, I'm Ms. Trosbach. I teach special education in kindergarten and first grade. I also have the honor of working with our classroom teachers and all your children with the background in special education, general education, and advanced academics. It is a true joy to be able to work with all our students, and thank you for sharing them with us. I'll be quiet so you can learn and listen. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Miss T. Our kids are very, very lucky to work with her. All righty, we are going to move along to talking about our daily schedule. So this is what your kid does all day with us.
All right, sorry about that. Okay. In the morning, we arrive between 9 and 9:15. That's when we get all settled in, make sure everybody's greeted nice and warm, and that everybody's ready to start the day and they have everything they need. Then we go to pre-game warm-ups, which is also called Cardinal Time. And this is a quiet working time. So right now, these past few weeks, we've been working on our stamina for how long we can work quietly. And it's going better and better as the days and weeks go on. But this is an important time because each child is getting individualized instruction, whether it's enrichment, reteaching, technology. Each child is getting something that they individually need. So this is an important working time. Then we move to math, and we'll go into more detail about that later. Then we have a nice early lunch, 11 o'clock, and followed by recess right away. Then we come inside and we just kind of cool down from all of that. And we sort of restart our day by doing morning meeting and reorienting ourselves to how many days we've been in school, what is the weather. And this is a lot of singing, it's interactive, and the kids really enjoy it, but it does sort of get them ready for language arts. And we'll go into more details about that farther into the presentation. 2 o'clock until 2:20 is content. So that's either going to be social studies or science, and we take turns with each. Then the last 40 minutes are snack time, pack up to go home, and playtime all in one. And then we go to special, and then we come back to the classrooms and dismiss from our classrooms. And that's a full day on a nice, neat piece of paper.
Okay, attendance. We love having our kinder babies here at school. And it's really important to try to get to school on time. Our doors open at 8:55. They're considered late at 9:11 unless they're riding a bus that's coming a little late. And of course, if your child is not feeling well in these COVID times, we'd like for them to stay home and rest up. There's also a special place where you can fill out a form on our Cardinal Forest public website, and you could call the attendance line, which is in our top right corner here. You can see it's a red box, and that's important to call your child in there. And we love having them every day. So come every day, please.
All right, so one of the our first big academic chunks is math, and we love doing math with our kinders because one of our biggest goals besides learning math is to make sure it's really engaging and really fun. So a lot of times they're not even so sure that they're in math because they are doing fun games, they're doing hands-on things, they are really engaged in what they're doing. So we kind of like it that they're always not so sure. We kind of start the time off with doing a number or math talk so that the kids have a chance to practice talking like mathematicians and having a chance to observe and talk about what they notice. This is something that's really important because a lot of kids can do a math problem, but they're not so sure about explaining the why, or how they got to that answer, the strategies that they use. So we want them to be able to do that and give them that practice so that they can talk like mathematicians. And then we will kind of slide into a focus lesson. We try not to make it too terribly long because we want to make sure that they're staying engaged and they're getting the content that they need so that they can go in to do this on their own, to do a little bit more of an independent practice where we will do what we call math stations. So right now we're doing one, we might up it to 2, we'll see. But this is a chance where they get to go try out the concepts that we're talking about. So we are going to be wrapping up sorting and classifying attributes. So after we have that whole group lesson, the kids go off and they have every day something new that they need to sort it different ways. They're using their hands, they're actually doing what we are teaching them to do. And it gives them also a chance to try out more than one strategy. We can provide them enrichment that way, or work with them a little bit slower depending on where they're at. And this is a time where we're going to be doing guided math. So the kids are going to be kind of grouped based on the level of mastery that they are with whatever content that we're teaching them. So if they need more enrichment, we will work with them on enrichment. If we need to go back and just, try that concept again, we can do that too. So this is a chance for us to work with smaller groups and meet our kinders where they're at. And then we like to bring them back to reflect on what they just did. So talk about the strategies that you use. For example, when we were doing our sorting, what are some of the ways that you sorted? What were some different ways that you could have sorted? Did you notice anybody else sorting a different way? So having a chance to just discuss what they just did in math and be able to share with others, because they do love to share. And it's another chance for them to practice some of that oral communication. And then on the right, these are just some of the concepts that are going to be coming up. Math is pretty cyclical in that we like to come back to a concept that we've been teaching and then build on it. So for instance, we are coming into counting in number sense. That's not the only time we're going to talk about it. So we're going to have that coming up. We're going to revisit it next quarter and the next quarter, and it's going to be something that we're going to build upon. So we're not teaching in isolation. We're teaching a concept, and then we will swing back to it so that we can build from there and extend their learning from there. So that's what math looks like in kinder. Now we're going to talk about language arts in kinder.
Okay, language arts in kindergarten. Think of reading in kindergarten. It begins with reading to the children, reading aloud, talking about the story, making connections, reading with the children, reading the text together, and also your child reading by themselves. They can be remember reading the story, remembering the pattern in the book, reading the words, and reading the pictures. We have our whole group instruction where we do those types of reading. And then we have a sharing about what they've learned, whether it be in a book that they've read or sharing and turning and talking about a story that we read together or we read to them. Also, we do a little bit of a word study based on where they're at and what they need to work on. We also have hands-on literacy stations, and we do 2 of those, and we are building stamina. So it might look a little bit different at the beginning of kindergarten, and then at the end of kindergarten, it might look different. We also will have our small group instruction. We're building that stamina, working by themselves in being problem solvers. And then we'll meet them where they're at, whether it be intervention, helping them relearn something, or enriching them. We also have our special writing workshop time, and that begins as an artist, drawing the pictures, telling a story through those pictures, labeling the parts of the picture, writing words, making a sentence, sharing about it, which can include telling about your picture, and down the road, reading your writing as an author. And we celebrate you as an author, starting from drawing to writing sentences. And working with them one-on-one if we need to work on some writing goals and help them build their sentences and sound out words. Another foundation we have is called Fundations. It's multi-sensory, it's explicit and comprehensive. It's all tied in together. it focuses on handwriting, learning about the sounds and reading, sounding out words, making sentences. And also part of the letter sounds, we go into digraphs, and they will learn how to blend and sound out and write words. Also included in there are sight words, words that you cannot, that are not spelled the way they read. And they're going to be their heart words, and of course, spelling. And again, we're building our stamina.
All right, science. So we follow the Sprouting Small Scientist curriculum, and it's given to us by Fairfax County. And the children are exploring things that they naturally would observe around the phenomena that they would observe in the real world. So changes over time, shadows, life cycles, water cycles. Right now, we're talking about the 5 senses and observing like a scientist. Those are our first 2 to start, and changes over time. But we also talk about being environmentally friendly, and then sorting and categorizing between living and non-living things, and then what plants and animals and living things need to flourish and survive.
All right, social studies. Social studies really deals with kind of like the kids' lives. We've had so we talk about the past and the present, how their hand grows. Their hand now is going to be different than their hand at the end of the year, and how they're changing from a child until they're getting bigger. Geography maps. We talk about like the Cardinal Forest community and where they are on a map and where they are on a globe. Economic concepts, basically for their piggy bank, like you need to spend your money on your needs first, and then if you have money left over, you get your wants. We also talk about community helpers. We had some visit the other day when a fire engine came, and we had right after the fire drill, all the kids got to go over and meet the firefighters and be around the fire engine, which was really cool. And then citizenship, just being a good citizen, being a good person, and learning about the patriotic symbols like the American flag.
All right, so Cardinal Time is something that we try to begin our day with after the kids have unpacked and had their breakfast. And it's something that you might also hear as quiet time, just for the kinders, so that they understand that this is the time where we're working quietly. And during Cardinal Time, our kids are having a chance to do something called pre-game warm-up. So this is new, and this is something that they're doing across the school. So whether you have a 6th grader or a kindergartner, your child will have a chance to do this. Once a quarter, your child will have a chance to work with a specialist for a whole week during this Cardinal Time. So for the kinders this first quarter, they are working with Miss Fisher, who is one of our advanced academic teachers. She is pulling our kiddos into the library and doing something called tech time. So she's kind of having them explore the computer a bit more, working on their skills. Each child will have an opportunity to do it for 1 week each quarter. So your child, if they haven't had a chance to do it yet, it's coming by the end of the quarter. And then next quarter, they'll have an opportunity to work with a different specialist for those enrichment opportunities. So while those kiddos are working on that, our kids in the classroom are working quietly and for the most part independently. This is a chance for us to have a little bit more of that phonics instruction in maybe a small group quiet setting. We also might be pulling small groups for intervention or for enrichment. This is a great time to do it because it's nice and quiet and calm. And this is also an opportunity if your child receives ESOL services or works with a special education teacher. This is a time where they can work with those students. And this is also a time where we might just be pulling groups for or individual students or small groups for assessment. In kindergarten, we do try to make sure as much as possible to do individual or small group assessment because that's just what's age appropriate for kindergartners. And this is a time where we might try to do some of that to check in on our kids, see how they're progressing, areas that we might want to work on, areas that we've mastered, or we need to move on to something else. So that is Cardinal/quiet time. And then within that, we have our pregame warm-up. That's that new thing that the kids will have a chance to do that enrichment with a specialist. All right, so before we get into Schoology, parents, you have the ability to go to Schoology and have all of these wonderful icons all to yourself. So Miss Meshover has worked really hard to make something that is very parent friendly and also make things that are very kid friendly. So what they would like us to do is show you this video on how you can access Schoology. And then we'll talk about all those wonderful things that you will have access to once you have done this. So I'm pretty sure I need to reshare this because I think I did not do something correctly. So if you guys will give me just a second. All right, and this is just a quick video to let you guys see what you need to do in order to have your parent access to Schoology.
Hello, are you ready to use Schoology? In order to use Schoology as a parent, you must have a Parent View account. To access this page, to log in, go to sisparent.fcps.edu. If you are unsure about your account or you forgot your password, please use these icons on the bottom to help you. Once you have your account and you're ready to sign into Schoology, please use this website link, www.lms.fcps.edu. This is the Fairfax login for Schoology. You'll know that you're logging in correctly if you see the Fairfax icon. Then, when logging in, use your Parent View login information so you can sign into your parent account. Once you are signed in, you will see that there is a course button. When you click on it, all parents are enrolled in our All Families course. Once you are inside of the course, you will see this menu of options. There are so many different resources, websites, videos, and more that you can use and explore. This is a one-stop shop for parents. Inside of the Back to School Night information button, you will see these options. This is definitely worth a look. Inside of FCPS Welcome are videos from our school board members and Dr. Brabrand. Inside of the CFES Welcome, there is a video from our administration as well as our PTA Executive Board. Grade level information will be updated after Back to School Night for recordings and slides. Specialists and support teachers have recorded Flipgrid videos for you to get to know them. Take a look. And inside of the FLE Parent Preview is information about family life education. Once you are ready to switch to a student account, you can drop down from your parent name and take a look at one of your students or your children. Click into theirs and you will be able to see their courses that they're enrolled in. A green check mark will be next to their name to make sure that you know which account you are viewing. If you have questions or need help, please contact your child's teacher, or you can reach out to me, Michelle Meshover, the School-Based Technology Specialist at Cardinal Forest. This is my email address and I'm happy to help you. Hello, are you ready?
All right, so I'm going to share a little bit, just some of the important stuff that I find. I'm a parent as well. My daughter is in Miss Welsh's class. She's a kindergartner as well. And so on my login page, just some of the things that I wanted to point out as a parent. Once you log in and you have your parent view, It's the same username and password to log into Schoology. You have access to one course. It's called the All Parents course. And when you click on that, you'll see all the buttons that you're viewing right now. The Back to School Night button has those videos and Back to School Night information. Some of the other things that I think are important to point out is the Cardinal Forest PTA button will give you like PTA schedule of events that are happening around the school. It also gives you the board information and if you want to join or donate to the PTA. Some other things that I think are important, if you haven't filled out the digital consent form for your student, make sure you do that. There's a little button that will lead you to that. There's an ESOL services that will give you information on the ESOL team. There's also a button for advanced academics. So if you would like, if you had some questions about advanced academics and your child, it has the information for Miss Fisher, as well as the forms that you would need to fill out to get the process started. And then same thing with special education services. There are special forms in there and it gives you information about the team. So those are two really, really good links just to be mindful of that are in this parent course. The staff directory will help, you find an email of anybody in Cardinal Forest. So that helps as well. Other than that, once you log in, something that you can't see here is if you switch to your child's account, there are a few different groups once you get in there. There's your child's homeroom teacher, as well as language arts, math, science, and social studies for your student. But you could also see a library course. In the library course, it will give you some general information about the library here at Cardinal Forest, how-to guides and quick links. The all school course has a bunch of really cool stuff in it. It has monthly activities. It has coding. If you were working on coding, it has virtual field trips. It has an imagination station, a calming corner button, experiments you could do with your student at home, STEAM Spirit Week info button for when we do our Spirit Weeks. And then it has all the news show links. Our news show, we usually have a big one on Fridays, but we also show it every single day that teaches a little bit about Zoom and stuff. There's also an social emotional learning course where if you click on it, you can actually fill in a form for your student to see, like Miss Bruck is K2's counselor. So you could fill in a form and then Miss Bruck would come and pull your student for your child for a little bit and talk to them about whatever the issue is. And there's some grade level materials in there and some virtual calming rooms, which can also be useful.
Okay, home learning. If your student is placed on pause or if they're absent, there are asynchronous, which is a fancy word for independent learning opportunities that are provided in your child's Schoology classroom. These can be completed during the school day. You can also, when your child is placed on pause, you can also pick up a work packet as well. And just a reminder about the importance of home reading with your child, to your child, 20 minutes a day. If you need to, you can break it up, do 10 minutes before bed and 5 and 10 minutes here and there. The live streaming lessons are coming. This Thursday, we will start our training. We'll start our training with and be getting our equipment and going from there. There will be live stream lessons in math and language arts. And we will let you know as soon as we know. And we can tell you there are more details to come.
Responsive classroom is something that we use here at Cardinal Forest. It's just a kind of like a mindset. The main aspects that we really use are the morning and afternoon meetings. For us, based off our schedule, we typically do afternoon meetings. It gives your student a chance to kind of do a share and just build the family relationship in the classroom. It also goes over some class expectations as well.
So student well-being, this is something that is, a huge priority for us at Cardinal Forest. The first few weeks of school, whether that be in 6th grade or in kindergarten, we really focus on trying to build relationships with our students and with our families, and really just making sure that our kids are starting to learn how to be in school and making sure that they're doing that nice transition into school. And we make sure that we do a nice focus on social emotional learning as well, so that our kids are making growth in those areas. We do have some fabulous counselors that we work with. So unless your child has been opted out of those counseling lessons, we do try to have them come in at least once a month, where they just work with the kids on something like, oh, what's the group plan? If our group's doing this, then we want to follow that group plan. So there's some of those things that you would just learn in kindergarten naturally, but with a little bit more of that counselor lens. So for our grade, we have Miss Bruck. Miss Keyfaber would also be happy to help with anything that you need. But Miss Bruck is the person who's assigned for kindergarten. We also have Miss DeVal and Miss Breyer. And if you're noticing that your child is maybe having some difficulties socially or emotionally, we encourage you to reach out to your child's teacher, let them know. And if need be, we can get you guys in contact with one of our counselors to see what they can do to help as well.
Okay, Portrait of a Graduate starts in pre-K in Fairfax County. Our goal is to create and grow and prepare your child for the adult world as an ethical and global citizen. We want them to be able to work with others and be creative and critical in their thinking, and also to make goals for themselves and be resilient. And that's going to go on until 12th grade.
All right, so grading in kindergarten. Students will receive the 1 through 4, whether they're in kindergarten or if they're in 6th grade. But something that parents, I want you guys to make sure that you're aware of is that kindergarten students in Fairfax do not receive a first quarter report card, or we sometimes call them progress reports. And that's just because they're 5, they're getting used to getting into school. And so what we will do instead is your child's teacher will reach out to you to try to set up a time where you guys can have a parent-teacher conference. And we will talk about how your child's transitioning, how are they doing academically, socially. It's a time for you to ask any questions that you might have. And so we're going to try to start reaching out to set those up for a phone call or for Zoom. Probably at the beginning of October. And again, that's a time where any questions that you might have, we will absolutely love to help you, help guide you through that. And another thing to be mindful of is that we are using that 1 through 4. So I like to use this flower analogy because our kids are all in different stages of reaching that full-grown flower. So they might be that the seed has just been planted, but they need some more nurturing to get to that full-grown flower. But just an idea of where they are in a plant cycle, so that you can have an understanding of how much they've mastered a certain skill. And then that's something that we'll talk a little bit more about during your parent-teacher conference as well. Oop, wrong way. All right, and then never mind.
Yeah, just for communication purposes, give us like 24 to 48 hours for an email response. We try and get to you as quickly as we can. Weekly communication updates will be sent on Fridays. We try and send them every Friday. Tuesday folders will be sent home as needed, and email is the best way to communicate. We also have talking points. So talking points is something that all of us use. Form went home at the beginning of the year. You filled it out, you gave it back to us. We kind of like manually entered you into it. If you have any questions about talking points, or you would like to still be into talking points, it's a very useful way to get in touch with us, because it kind of goes straight to us. And we are able to answer you really quickly, as well as it goes straight to your phone. Parent conferences, we talked about this, phone calls, virtual conferences, as needed. about mid-October.
And also just if you have any sort of changes in how your child is going home or anything that you feel that we need to hear before the end of the day, please do email us. But also if you could let the front office know, we're not always able to check our email throughout the day. So just to make sure that we are aware of any changes that you might have and how they're going home or anything of that nature, please also reach out to the front office so that they can let us know, so we all make sure that we know what we need to do. And then just as a reminder, tomorrow is picture day. So our kindergartners, thankfully, they like to do that pretty early in the day, just before they eat and go to recess. So anything that you've done to their hair or their lovely clothes hasn't quite been totally tussled up yet. So we are going to be doing that tomorrow. You can order online at mylifetouch.com. And this is our school code if you need it. I recommend maybe taking a picture, but it was also sent in an email if you need that. And what we're going to do now, and Miss Meshover hypothetically fixed something for us, is we are going to go into breakout rooms. So if you have a question that is specific to your child's teacher, if you could join your child teacher's breakout room, that way you can chat with us real quick. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing this. All
Ms.
righty.
Welch,
Hi.
I'm in here. I just wanted to double check that when you do the breakout rooms, are you able to do options and then they could join?
Let's see. Now I am. Thank you, Miss Meshover.
Awesome.
All right. So thank you, Ms. Meshover, because hypothetically this will work now. So I'm going to go ahead and open those up. If you want to come see Miss Welch, you're going to click on Miss Welch. If you want to go see Miss Williams, that's what you'll do. Mr. Turner, do you want to try to see if you can get into yours?
Mine should work because I could just join the room.
Hi. Let's see.
be starting that on Monday.
Okay, because he won't be back until Monday. So I didn't know if you all were doing take-home package for kids when they were sick in the beginning. I know I know that usually the older kids might have homework and stuff, but I've noticed he hasn't had like a book.
Okay, so how about this? I'm gonna try to put us in my breakout room, and I could talk to you a little bit more about that. I'm gonna try to.
Okay, because I know I wasn't able to get to your breakout room.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try it this way. Let's see, did that let you in? There we go.
And it's all just teachers now. There's no parents left.
You guys
Well,
did.
no, Miss, yes, they just went into Miss Walsh's breakout room. So those two.
We still have
Okay.
What'd you say, Felicia?
I said, you still have breakout rooms?
So I didn't have anybody come to mind.
Okay.
I'm looking to see who our participants are.
Yeah, no breakout participants for me either.
Yeah, it just looks like we have whomever is in the breakout room with Mrs. Welch.
You guys did a great job. Enjoy your evening.
You too.
Thank you.
Great job, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.